me perhaps, but do let me know because your opinions do matter. अब बात करते हैं start यहाँ से कि these are some of the actions that entail self-love. Even in the messages in the group, when we asked you all, what is it that you do to show yourself that, I do care for myself? We do some of these things. Let me know if you agree or not, okay? At the end of the list. Put yourself first, be kind to yourself, process your fears, exercise boldness in public, see beauty in simple things. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Stop comparing yourself to others. Don't worry about others' opinions. But here we are welcoming opinions. It's about welcoming opinions, coexisting together. Now, feel pain and joy as fully as you can. Don't be afraid to let go of toxic people. See beauty in the simple things. I think this was repeated somewhere. Okay, no worries. Trust yourself to make good decisions. How many of you agree that yes, these are some of the things? Agree? Yahi sari cheezein hoti hain. These are some of the things which we do to show ourselves that we are loving ourselves. If you have a question, we'll definitely answer it. But if you can, put your questions, queries, opinions, everything into the chat box, it would help us somewhere to help connect with you better. क्योंकि हम बार-बार अगर unmute करेंगे, so it might be a little bit challenging, not too much. We will definitely give you time to, interact with us because we do wish to interact with you. But at this point, somewhere you can mention your answers in the chat box. Yes, so yes, agree. Okay. Now, with this dip latte. Okay. How many of us are actually able to act upon them? Ouch moment hona chahiye yahan pe. There should be an ouch moment. Okay. I do know this, but how many times do I actually practice it? Yes, no, you can please share your answers. Yes, bhi ho sakta hai, nahi bhi ho sakta hai. Not, not always. Yeah, no. So thank you so much for, being honest with us here, thoda bahut. Tell me, even though you don't practice it, do you think it somewhere runs at the back of your mind? Ki chalo theek hai, there are many challenges in life, but, things will get better. या वो एक point पे हमेशा एक back of the mind there is thought, things will not get better. Things will not get better. What is it? Even though it's not always the same thing, but do you always stay in a growth mindset or kahin na kahin hum dip ho jate hain? So, our mindset also goes down. This is hell. I already know hell exists. This and that. So, I'm never getting out. What happens to us? Things will not get better. Again, thank you for being honest there. Truly. Because the idea is to first connect with your truth. Tabhi to change karenge. Right. So thank you so much for being honest there in the chat box. Really love you guys. Okay. Now, here is something that I wish to share. How many of you would like to hear a story? How many of you would like to hear a story? A sort of case study. Not exactly, but sort of. Yeah? Okay. यहाँ थोड़ा break लेते हैं. Let me set the mood. So, a few days ago, a client of, not exactly a client, but a person just dropped me a message. The person dropped me a message saying, just sharing her thoughts that, these are some of the things that I have as a challenge. And there is just one issue with me, Meenakshi. Just one issue. All is fine. But there is this one thing which I'm not able to overcome. What is that? She shared that everything is fine, but I am very careless. I don't take care of things. I forget things most of the time. And then I was like, okay, fine. So what is it that you would like to do at this point? And she answered, you see, I have actually done most of the things. I have done many courses on mindset and everything. I daily wake up, I go to the mirror, I say this to myself that, you are very, careful about things and this and that. I have many daily affirmations which I daily practice without failing it. But, I think this is a medical issue. Maybe, I should go for medicines at this point of time. Let me ask you, do you think this person requires medication? What is your point of view at this point? What is your opinion at this point? Is it that she requires medicine just because some of the other conditions? Is it that, somehow she was not able to work on it and, there's some medical issue? Only medicines can work on it. It requires self-awareness. Actually, no. Yes. What else? Medicines will not heal her problem. So what do you think will? And what do you think is the core of the challenge here for her? What do you think is the core challenge of here? Mindset problem. Okay. So yes, we do somewhere get that it is a mindset problem, but what is the challenge? What is the challenge? I will share it. But what is the challenge? Can anyone, just self-love? Okay. Self-love, motivation. What else? No self-love. What else? Comfort zone. Okay.
How
Okay.
to overcome traumatic conditions. That is the most important we are going to discuss today. Isn't it?
Yes. We are getting there. We will reach that point.
Yes.
So was that your answer? Was that your answer for this question?
Self-love.
Okay, self-love. But somewhere, the answer is still not reached. Abhi bhi answer actually baki hai. She needs proper guidance. Actually, that is required. She definitely needs a proper guidance.
Excuse me, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so the question is, what is her daily life challenge? So she's someone who's working on her daily. She's practicing her daily rituals. She's doing everything. But then what is the challenge? She seems to be working on her mindset because these are some of the things that we do practice daily. But then despite that, when we don't reach the outcomes, hame lagta hai ki kya ho raha hai? We are doing everything. And that's the point when we become helpless. Would you agree with that? Goal setting, she needs proper guidance, she's not healed. Yes, that could be an answer. Okay, fine. Let me share it with you here.
She needs push.
She needs a push. All of these things are there, but still the answer is not reached. Shall I share the answer now? I'll actually share the actual screenshot, without sharing who, what, from when and all. I'll share the actual screenshot to share the answer, which really, scared me. And this is the answer. What do you think is the challenge here? यहाँ पे challenge क्या है? This answer really scared me that day. Sort of. I was like, कैसे बताएं इसको? Because there are so many points when people are not ready to listen to the answers just because it's not the right time. Unable to take others' opinion. Okay, that could be the thing. But you know what happens to us? What does this tell us? Last line. See the last line. Aadat ho gayi hai sunne ki. That's the most dangerous thing. These are some of the challenges that we all go through. You know, take some time, read through all of those challenges and see इनमें से किस challenge की आदत हो गई है. Habit. Going into the state of making a challenge your habit is the most dangerous thing that we do. अगर वो resourceful है, it will help us grow. अगर वो unresourceful है, it will somewhere become an obstacle for us. Who had a mind-blowing moment at this point? देखते हैं. Was I able to explain this? Were you able to take this? Let's stay here and tell me if this was a mind-blowing moment for you. ना? क्या है ये? You see, you are consciously practicing statements or affirmations in your daily life. But at the end of the day, if there is a different statement in the back of your mind, then that statement is much more powerful. And that is the statement which is creating your reality in the present moment. And that is what we call as a habit, या subconscious training, या program, जो भी कह लें, जिस भी भाषा में कह लें, whatever language we use, whatever words we use. When it becomes a habit, when things are normalized for us, that's when it becomes a challenge, the core of the challenge. Am I still audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so had any mind-blowing moments at this point? Mind-blowing? Laga ki kuch hai, nahi hai? Maybe you knew this, maybe someone who has already attended the webinar before, unko shayad pata hoga because we are doing the 7 series since January. So, you know, we discussed this somewhere in our last session, last webinar, where we talked about manifestation with trauma mindset. This is, you know, the same thing that we are somewhere. So, kisi ko pata hoga. Some of you who are continuing with us, they do know this. But that is the challenge. The problem is not your challenge. The problem is when you make your challenge a habit. So I hope you have all gone through this, and every one of you would have one or the other challenge mentioned herein.
I have one.
एक ना एक तो होगा. Some one of you might have all. Thank you for sharing that. But this is still not your challenge. The challenge is if you have normalized it for yourself. That would be your real challenge. Coming to the point. अब और थोड़ा कोर में चलते हैं challenge के. थोड़ा और पेन को बढ़ाते हैं कि एक्चुअली हो क्या रहा है हमारे साथ. हम कर क्या रहे हैं लाइफ के साथ. Insecurity, humiliation, unsafety, avoidance and denial, disturbed sleep cycle, repeating the same mistakes, emotionally weak or imbalanced. हमारे लाइफ में we feel we have different challenges, surface level challenges. We procrastinate, or we don't focus well. We forget things. I'm not focused enough. I'm easily distracted. These are not your challenges. Your challenges are something else. Your challenge is an idea with which you stuck. एक आइडिया जिसके साथ हम रह गए वहीं पे. Loneliness is better than betrayal. So, you know, let me not go into relationships. Every relationship is going to be a disaster. So why should I do that? But we don't calculate that we do need company. That is the consequence we don't calculate. And that is what again becomes a challenge. Humiliation. We feel humiliated throughout our lives because of some or the other events. And we decide that inaction is better than failure. Action ही नहीं करते हैं. But we forget that with inaction, there will be no success. So ho gaya na procrastination. That is what procrastination is. You're not going to take any action. And then you're going to feel like, oh, see, so many other people, they are so far than me and I'm stuck here. I did not do anything in my life. Unsafety. I'm not safe. Avoidance and denial. Let me not think about the problem and the problem is not there. That is not positivity. What you're doing is avoidance and denial. Disturbed sleep cycle. Sub consequences hai. Consequences, challenges, sub mixed up. Disturbed sleep cycle. Overthinking about fears on loop. And what is fear? Who can tell me what is fear? Who can tell me what is fear? Let's see. What is fear? F-E-A-R. If you see, it's all capital, in capital. And there is a very specific meaning to it. What is fear? Fear is false evidence appearing real. ऐसे छोटे एविडेंसेस जिसको हम सच मानते हैं क्योंकि हमारे लाइफ में in the past we have been through them. So those evidences we pick up, we add meaning to it, and then we make false evidences for a solid but false evidences. And then we keep it throughout our lives whenever there is a chance to change. It shatters us, exactly. And then we repeat it on loop. Loop chalta rehta hai dimag ke andar. Isliye, even if you're sitting in front of a camera, in front of the screen perhaps, or doing your job, at the back of your mind, you feel exhausted, emotionally exhausted.
Suna.
You feel that? How many of you feel emotionally exhausted? लगता है दिमाग के पीछे कुछ चल रहा है. There is something running at the back of our minds.
Yeah, it's always.
It's always there. Because your subconscious mind is continuously working on the loops to make it a reality for you, by which you're manifesting your reality, while you're putting in let's change, let me change my mindset, let me do this, let me achieve that. At a point of time, something might click. But at the end of it, if you're not aligned, you will end up paying a huge cost for it. Maybe you will get sick, maybe something will happen. Changes in the plan. Kuch hoga, and then the whole thing will crash. Fir lagega, I reached that point, but then maybe. And this is what is the garbad. Here with me till now?
Yes.
Yes. And that is how we keep repeating the mistakes as well. और फिर emotionally weak or imbalanced तो हम हो ही जाते हैं. Facing the fears. Every time there is an evidence waiting around the corner. अब इसको झपटेंगे. अब इसको पकड़ते हैं. And things go south. Now, of the unresourceful outcomes of the we don't achieve our goals, failures, multiple failures of relationship, divorce, unworthy, lack of confidence, breaking of friendships, ye bhi bahut hote hain. We start mistrusting people, mistrusting even professionals, maybe our colleagues as well. We fail in interviews and exams. This is especially for those who are, in their student lives. Wait. Stuck in life with no purpose. We feel like kuch bhi nahi, our life is stagnant. There is nothing that we can do about it. Then you have psychosomatic dis-eases. What are psychosomatic diseases? Can anyone share that? What is psychosomatic diseases? Because abhi lagega it's not a huge thing. And what is the reason for us to discuss all of these things in a self-love webinar? But it will connect. At the end of it, I'll help you connect all the dots. So, psychosomatic diseases usually manifest in our body based on the unresourceful emotions that we keep suppressed within. Because hum kitna bhi keh let me deal with my emotions later, but your mind is a very powerful and a loyal servant. It will tell you immediately, ki boss, kuch gadbad hai. There is something wrong with your body or your emotional or psycho-emotional state. Please address it. And this is where we end up creating what we usually call as diseases in our body. But it's not actually a disease. It's psychosomatic dis-ease that we create in our body. Usually guilt, anger, pain. These are some of the prominent emotions where we function to create these psychosomatic diseases. Or फिर हमें लगता है, my back is hurting, my lower back is hurting, my upper back is hurting, my shoulders are hurting. Or we sometimes get into accidents as well. Because somehow or the other, your body has to tell you that, please address your emotions. Please address it. Moving forward, we sometimes, most of the times, children, usually, they go into substance abuse or mobile addiction. Let me escape the chaotic emotions. I don't want to address it. Dilemma. Kya decision le? What should we decide about our life? Should I do this? Should I not do this? And in that, we don't take any action. You're here with me till now? Kuch laga? Anything you wish to share at this point? Abhi hum jayenge is part pe bhi. But before we go into it, further go into it, anything you wish to share at this point? You can share it in the chat box if you like. Yeah, hum badhte hain aage. Because we have a lot of things that we wish to share with you with full heart. Bit heavy. Okay. Heavy in the sense, humne khana khaya hai abhi, and that is why we are heavy or heavy with, what we just went through or the realization. Okay. Got you, Prachi. Good. It is good to go through ouch moments at points. It's really good to go through ouch moments. Now, let's come to the things that we want. वो कहते हैं ना सुखमणि वाला state. चिंतामणि वाला तो देख लिया, झेल भी रहे रोज, daily going through it. But let's come to the point where, we have a little bit of hope. Let me see this. Let me have this outcome. So these are some of the desired outcomes that we usually want in life. If not, you can let me know. अगर ये नहीं है तो बता सकते हो. कोई जबरदस्ती नहीं है. Being emotionally intelligent. We will discuss also, what emotional intelligence is, like some of you are asking. So emotional intelligence, we are going to go on that part, but let me slightly introduce the topic. हमें अभी तक लग रहा था, our challenges are something else. In that process, we don't even address certain things to us. We deny certain things. We say, let's deal with it later. बाद में देखेंगे. And in that process, we end up suppressing our emotions over and over and over and over again. But suppose we do get this lucky chance to sit down and without getting scared, address our emotions, address the challenges. That's when we gradually, layer by layer, see through actually हमारे emotions क्या है and what is our need. So that is what is emotional intelligence. We will definitely go to it, but अभी हम इतने पे ही रहते हैं हल्का सा. I hope you'd like the idea of emotional intelligence. कहीं ना कहीं सुनने में अच्छा लग रहा है. At this point, let's just go with that. Emotional intelligence. self-reliance, self-awareness, need to be unshakable me. Yes, feels good to listen, but how? Last में एक question है छोटा सा, to again cause you a little bit of distress, make you a little bit of heavy. कैसे? How? Because every course out there, every institution out there, every program out there is teaching you skills. Very important. Even हमारे colleges, schools, every somewhere, I don't know, colleges, schools का भी थोड़ा सा, but yeah, they do teach us skills. फिर आते हैं mindset पे. There are amazing programs out there, really amazing programs that teach you mindset. Then networking and connections. Recently, so this is just sharing a part of this interaction between me and my client. So the client said, you know, I have these many challenges there, and the person is continuously trying to connect with a person to get the person into the job space, you know, job ke liye. And the person just shared, you know, I'm trying her, I'm trying that person, but somehow, you know, everyone is ignoring me. At one point of time, they did said they will help, but at this point, everyone is ignoring me. But I'm just mentioning is, halka se isko yaad rakhna, because in 2 minutes, abhi ek cheez aur batayenge, ek thoda sa ouch moment aur denge. Rituals, manifestations, vision boards, sab sikha rahe hain, and they are amazing. Trust me, sab perfect teach kar rahe hain bahar. And they are adding that value to each and every one of us. But the minute these programs tell you to deal with your emotions, honestly tell me, what do you feel? Kar lete hum deal emotions ke saath? How many of us are actually able to deal with our emotions? Let me hear this. You know, pehle thoda sa samajhte hain. You know, how many of us are actually able to deal with our emotions? You know, let's deal with it. Let me just forget everything and let me go into that space and let me conquer the space. Chalte hain. Apne aap ko pura chhod chhad ke, you know, let's move in. Maybe once, twice, thrice, maybe at a particular situation, in a particular context, we are able to do that. You know, go to hell, everyone. I'm going to see my focus. हम कर सकते हैं कभी कभी. But what happens after that? Emotions flood out. You know when they flood out? सबसे ज़्यादा कब आते हैं emotions? When we are alone with ourselves. When we are about to sleep. And then we think, यार सब तो कर रहे हैं. Then why am I not sleeping well, or why is my sleep cycle disturbed, or what is wrong with me, why am I feeling emotionally exhausted? शायद बहुत सारे लोगों को पता ही नहीं होता है that they are somewhere emotionally exhausted by carrying, by being the atlas. वो atlas था ना, if you know that God who has to hold the sky on his shoulders, and if the person lets go of that, the entire system will crash. Just like that. You are holding all your emotional baggages. Since when? No idea since when. And that's why you feel emotionally exhausted sometimes. हम energized रहते हैं, सब रहते हैं, we take a good nap, we do everything. We take, you know, we give ourselves treats. Vacations पे जाते हैं, सब करते हैं. घर आके again down. Next day से फिर down. And that is what happens when we deal with our emotions. You know, like, let me deal with it. We become sometimes emotionally unavailable for people, mostly our family members. We suppress our emotions. we become emotionally numb. पर पता है हम emotionally numb सबसे ज्यादा कब होते हैं? When our pain is highest. Would you agree? Yes, no?
Yeah.
When our pain is the highest, that's when we become emotionally numb. Let me not feel the pain. छोड़ो सब जाने देते हैं. That's the highest level of pain that we feel. Highest level of pain. Emotionally numb. और हमें लगता है सब ठीक है. फिर हम दूसरों पे प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं. कहीं का गुस्सा कहीं निकालते हैं. There have been so many case studies somewhere, around the parent-child dimension में, where कुछ हुआ ऑफिस में, कुछ हुआ कहीं और, and we come back home और कुछ चीज होती है, कुछ गड़बड़ होता है, कुछ ट्रिगर होता है, and then we just immediately shout on the next person available to us. And in the process, we drain them as well. वो कहीं ना कहीं हमें रीच आउट करने की भी कोशिश अगर करते हैं, they get drained. We drain them as well. Consequences of dealing with your emotions, once again, emotionally exhausted, procrastination, low performance, again, psychosomatic diseases. Easily getting triggered, and it takes longer for you to recover. जो हमारा swamp period होता है, that time period increases. Do you think I don't go through swamps? अभी मेरी भी swamp story आएगी शायद बहुत सारी. I might get a chance to share them with you. But the trick is, मेरे भी होते हैं. I'm not some संत और महात्मा. मुझे enlightenment बिल्कुल नहीं मिला है. But the idea is to recover back quickly. But हम लोग क्या करते हैं ना, हम deal करते हैं emotions के साथ. Recover means deal with your emotions. No. No. Deal करके हम emotions swamp से निकलेंगे, then again you are just pushing back the problem and saying, let me deal with this problem later. Right now my focus is something else. छोड़ दिया अपना हाथ तुरंत वहीं पे. ऐसे हम self love करेंगे? Is this how we, somewhere tell us or give us a feedback, I love you. I love you, Meenakshi. I love you, Reena. I love you, Prachi. Is that how we say it to ourselves? बाद में deal करेंगे उसके साथ. क्या किया हमने तुरंत? What did we do in the moment? थोड़ा fast हो रहा है? Or is the pace fine? Let me ask that.
It's going okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. सबकी energy maintain है?
Yes, very much.
Push forward. Okay. So, अब, many of you will ask this कि Meenakshi, is it possible to recover? ठीक है. If we don't deal with our emotions, if we don't push them aside, is it possible to actually recover? I mean, if I begin to sit down and think about my problems, क्या हुआ है, क्या नहीं हुआ है, भूल भी गए क्या हुआ था. I've forgotten what were all those challenges. So, is it possible to actually recover? कर सकते हैं कि नहीं कर सकते हैं? And these could be some of your questions. Tell me. You can read through it. You can take a little bit of your time and read through the questions and tell me, कोई ना कोई एक question तो होगा इसमें से. Some of the other question would be yours. Why is it always stuck with us? Do you think possible है उसको unstuck करना, detach होना? Or how to forgive and move on? That person really did this or that with me. I cannot forgive that person. Or how do we change ourselves to take things positively? अभी तो हम negatively ले रहे समझ गए, but अब positively कैसे ले? Why anyone goes into traumatic condition? क्या होता है जो हम trauma में चले जाते हैं? Yeah, what is trauma after all? Is emotional trauma permanently curable or will it come back to us? हो गए ये सारे questions? एक ना एक तो होगा इसमें से, पक्का है. Because, my dear friends, these are somewhere your questions. ये आप ही के questions हैं. So here, before giving an answer to you, I would like to welcome someone for you all to share their own story. To share their own story, which, by the way, they have actually published. And this person is just 13 years old. सिर्फ 13 साल, 13 years old. Anyone here below 30? 13? 13.
No.
No? Okay. So shall we call him to hear his own story from his own mouth?
Please.
Yes, no?
Yes.
All right. So, Anshuman Mehta, are you here with us? Anshuman
Yes.
Mehta? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Can we? Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen for a minute and let us hear him. So, yes, please, Anshuman.
So thank you for inviting me. I Anshuman Mehta, 13 years old, going to tell everyone about my book, My Kingdom, My World, which I have published and also written. The summary is that when I was 7 years old, I do my healing journey started and my kingdom got established. And at this point of time, at 13 years old, my kingdom successfully established, and I feel much more confident at that point of time. And during this journey, I faced many problems, but at this point of time, my kingdom successfully established. Thank you.
Okay, so Anshuman, please tell us one thing. You heard that you're the youngest person in this webinar today. Yeah?
Yes.
Tell us, what is it that you would like to share, something which you would like to share with us all. Ek cheez.
Yes, that all we have mental and emotional problems, but this book will inspire us all to overcome our mental and emotional problems. Thank you.
Okay, so the idea is to heal somewhere. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So, what do you think about this? Let me have your ideas. क्या लग रहा है? He's just 13 years old. कब start किया होगा? कब नहीं start किया होगा? Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, yeah. So, क्या लगता है? So he's just 13 years old. So, let me somewhere rephrase for everyone. एक बार फिर से. He is someone who underwent that healing process, and he's still someone who's undergoing, because we all are work in progress. Today, he's someone who could come in front of you all. 45 people, 46, 45, and share his story. Do you think that is confidence? Confidence hai? Nahi hai?
Amazing.
Kya hai?
It's amazing.
Amazing. You could still see, somewhere he was maybe, hesitating, kuch tha, but that's not hesitation. He's actually very confident at this point. He's very confident at this point. And the story that he has written, thode bahut, grammatical mistakes, thode bahut hai. But the message that he has shared in this book, and I've actually bought this book. इसमें जो message share किया है, You will not find it anywhere. वो कहानी सुनी है, you know, there is a princess in the castle and she needs to be rescued. How many of you have heard this story? That, you know, there is a princess and she needs to be rescued. बहुत ही थोड़ा सा stereotypical है, but, you know, just let's go with this 8 minute के लिए. Yeah, Prachi, yes, we have heard this story. Now, this is one story where you'll come across a queen or a king undergoing the challenges, being locked up in that castle, but breaking through at the end of it. And that is how I summarize the story as. It's a mind-blowing story. You know, there are some research scholars here as well. I don't know. There are. And, you know, there are some students as well. This, if I was a research scholar, I would probably work on this. You know, I'm saying this. Why? Because there is a concept which is beautifully shared in this book by this person and on his own life story. We all can say na कि our stories are the most powerful things. सबसे powerful क्या होती है? Our personal stories. Would you agree? Yes, no? Yeah? And this, so I'm sharing my screen. Do let me know if you can all see it. This is the last line of this story. Thank you for reading my journey of my kingdom collapsing. पहले collapse होता है kingdom. पहले challenges होते हैं. You have to go through certain things, challenges, problems, troubles, crises. But the idea is not to stay there. The idea is to come out of it and expand your kingdom. And that is the beauty of this book. Coming to the next slide. Let's move forward. How many of, okay, before that, let me ask you one thing. How many of you would actually like to have this book? Would you not? चाहिए, नहीं चाहिए, पढ़ने का मन है, नहीं मन है? Would you like to read this story? कितने लोगों को ये story पढ़नी है?
Definitely would like to. Yep.
Definitely. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. देखते हैं कैसे पढ़ सकते हैं. So, now, somewhere let me share, थोड़ा ज्ञान बांटते हैं फिर से. कहानी हो गया थोड़ा सा, तो ज्ञान बांटते हैं. कि why is it possible to become emotionally intelligent? अभी तक शायद बहुत सारे लोगों को, you know, first time maybe this awareness is happening that we can actually become emotionally intelligent instead of just dealing with our problems या emotions. क्योंकि हम सबसे ज्यादा अपने emotions के साथ ही deal करते हैं. बाकी सारी दुनिया को, you know, welcome, come into my life, drain my energy. अपने लिए नहीं use करते. And this is where, you know, somewhere we'll connect to the self-love part. Because everything is connected. सब connected है. The idea is to commit. So why is it possible? Can you see the photo? You know, वो एक chart बना हुआ है energy meter का. Bottom में shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, ये सब है, pride. यहाँ तक हमारी थोड़ी dip वाली energy रहती है. उसके बाद courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, last में enlightenment. Very few people get enlightenment, by the way. We can somewhere reach up to 600, but getting up to, you know, 700,000, थोड़ा out of the वो है, but कर सकते हैं. But yet, peace is the last point, somewhere for us. So, can everyone share what is their energy at this point? सबको लगा होगा यार ट्रॉमा पे है वेबिनार, कितना एनर्जी होगा, बहुत ही डल टॉपिक होगा, ज्वाइन करे ना करे क्या करे. What is your energy level at this point? What do you feel is your energy level? Share it, and or if not, at least see through कि कहाँ एनर्जी है फिलहाल और कहाँ नेक्स्ट जाना है. So let us, okay, take, one person's energy, 250. Let's say 250 energy. तो हम कहाँ हैं? Somewhere neutrality पे. Neutral है हम अभी. We are neutral. इस neutral पे, we can either go down. हम नीचे जा सकते हैं. It's a choice. Or else we can move upwards gradually. हमें क्या लगता है ना लाइफ में कि अभी ये स्टेट है, अभी अचानक से कुछ कर ले तो our life will change. That is what people usually do with addiction, substance abuse, mobile addiction, binge watching. These are some of the things that we keep doing to keep us in that high energy, drawing it from someone else. And जैसे हमने बंद किया laptop या episode, वैसे ही down आ गए. And that's why we binge watch it. That's why we, go one episode after the other, because we don't want to return back into our low state. Distract karte hum apne mind ko. That is how we play games with our mind. You would have heard mind games, but hum kaise apne dimag ke saath khelte hain? This is what we do. Now, is it possible? Is pe aate hain, kahin na kahin. Resolved issues. Here, let me give you an example. Suppose you have an issue, एक problem है. बचपन में you would have solved some questions, and there would have been a point of time where questions है, but answer क्या है नहीं पता. And that question would have stuck in your mind. क्या था answer इसका? What is the answer of that? क्या है answer इसका? I cannot remember it, and it stays in your mind. Happens? How many of you feel it happens with you? If there is a question that you cannot answer, it sticks with you.
Many a
It
time.
sticks with you many times. Now, what is the question about life that stays with you? And there is just one question, by the way, just one question which stays with each and every one of us, no matter what challenge it is that you're going through. Do you know what that question is? Let's see how many of you are somewhere aware about that. Or if not, why me? Exactly, Richa. Yes. Why me? That is the one question that sticks with you. Why me? And that becomes an unresolved issue. But suppose that gets resolved somewhere along the journey. Do you think you will have your answer? If you have your answer, somewhere you'll be able to detach from that situation. If you get your answer. Let's see what is your answer. Yes, no, hoga, nahi hoga. If you get your answers, will you be able to solve it then? Tab, detach ho jayenge? Maybe. That's a good answer actually. Beach mein kahin. But yes or no? Yes or no? Because yes or no? क्योंकि एक चीज रहेगा उसमें. You know what will still stay? Even despite the fact that you answer your why me question, suppose you're able to do that. तभी भी why will it stay stuck to you? Any answers? Any guesses? क्यों रहेगा वो तभी भी? Why might stay with you for a very long period of time? Answer पहले with habit. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. Awesome. Habit. हमें आदत हो जाती है उस चीज के साथ रहने की. We are comfortable with the hell that we live with. And once you address your why me, you need to change your habit. You need to constantly work on that loop. और habit पता है क्या है? Habit is not what the actions that you do. It's not that. It's the subconscious statement which runs on loop. That becomes your habit. That is the habit. And that is what it matters. Once that energy flows out of your body, once there is no shame or guilt attached, because these are some of the things which matter the most. The pain, shame, guilt. अंत में यही रह जाता है. कितना भी हम deal कर ले अपने emotions के साथ. This is what it remains. And somewhere This is why it is possible to become emotionally intelligent or deal with your emotions in a resourceful manner. Actually, what we would like to say is align with your emotions. ठीक है? आगे बढ़े? Shall we move forward? Energy down तो
Yes.
नहीं हो गई?
Yes, please.
Okay. यहाँ पे is a framework that today, for the first time, I'm sharing with you all. Whoever has attended the first, second webinar, उन्हें पता है ये share नहीं किया गया था. This is the first time that I'm openly sharing it with everyone on a public platform. अभी तक ये सिर्फ clients के साथ share होता था, in a very personal space जहाँ पे we work one-on-one. But लगा यार अभी तक लोग aware ही नहीं है शायद. Because when I work with people, at a point of time they say, oh my God, this was something I did not know before. So, they feel like, okay, mere emotions actually, they were troubling me so much. I had no idea. And that's why, as a platform, the platform that somewhere you have given us by your presence, and we are really grateful for that. Here, we would somewhere like to share this back with you. The first step of any journey is to take a massive action. Commit कि कुछ भी हो जाए, आगे जाते हैं यार. कितने दिन तक इस लूप में फंसे रहेंगे? For how many days you'll stay in the loop? So let's take a massive action. Good? Do you think it's necessary to take a massive action?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere we can see whoever, somewhere registered. Let's just take this example. They took one action, a little action. Second action was to join it. You joined it. यहाँ पे, a compounding effect है. You're taking action one after the another. I don't know, maybe some of you might be taking down notes. वो एक तीसरा action होगा. Maybe some of you are not, it's fine. But the massive action, the commitment, that's the first step. The second is to become aware of your true crisis, challenge, or problem. You will begin with a different problem. Do begin with that. But allow yourself to reach a different awareness, क्योंकि वो होगा. How many of you have seen me with a mask? कितने लोगों ने mask देखा? You'll see masks everywhere. See me with the masks? Yes, no, पता नहीं. चलो.
Yeah, and your
देखते हैं
flyers
बाद
we
में.
have seen.
Yes, you see me with the masks. So what is that about? 3 masks. I actually wear 3 masks. That is to represent layers, because it usually comes in layer. So you'll begin with a different challenge. You'll go to a next awareness. And that is a growth step. Next is the realization of the need of the true self. हमने start कहीं से किया? एक दूसरे awareness में पहुंचे. We thought that there is a different solution for our problem. But actually, the core problem is what needs to be addressed. तो उसके लिए तो realization of need दूसरा होगा. And that is what you need to realize next. Still here with me, every one of you?
Yeah.
Yes? Awesome. The next is to accept the challenge to transform. We took a massive action. Awareness भी हो गई. Needs भी realize करें. And these are not like एक बार हो गया तो हो गया. This will happen again and again. One realization of the need, again you would have to accept the challenge because it comes in layers. क्योंकि layers में दबाया गया है. You have dealt with it in layers, in different moments, in different times. Sometimes you were aware of it, sometimes you were not aware of it. So it comes out in layers. The next is to accept the challenge to transform. Because यहाँ पे एक problem आती है, fear of emergence, doubt. That is the 5th step. Somewhere it connects together. So let me take them two together. Habit. जहाँ हम बोले ना habit हो गई है, because I know my hell. I don't know if heaven exists. So this is one, statement, which while working with one of my clients again, we reached the statement, somewhere I've seen hell in my life. So I do have an evidence that hell exists. I've not seen heaven. So I don't know if it exists or not. How many of you would agree with this statement? यार बात तो सही है. आज तक सिर्फ hell ही देखा है. तो उसका evidence है कि it exists. Be whatever challenges it is that you go through. But hell dekha hai humne. So there is a fear of emergence coming out of that habit. What will happen? I know my hell, I'm comfortable here. So, let me stay here. And that is another point where you need to remember what do you need to remember there? What actually works in these moments? क्या क्या काम करता है यहाँ पे? What all do you think is required? ये तो हम कहीं ना कहीं जर्नी की बात कर रहे हैं, but what are the elements that you require to, cross through that journey?
Keep moving.
Once, with wisdom, yes, keep moving. But what if you are so scared? Because fear is a, primitive emotion. जब डर लगता है ना, जब हम survive करते हैं, तब हम कुछ नहीं सोचते.
सेल्फ डाउट सबसे पहले आता है.
सबसे पहले आता है. We just go back because we are scared. It's a primitive emotion. बहुत primitive है. So sometimes we cannot beat that fear. Reach out for guidance, help. Okay, so somewhere we can say mentor की जरूरत हो सकती है. Mentor. Maybe all of these could be mentor, right? Or yes, we can reach out for guidance, help, and everything. The second thing, okay, mentor, guidance एक चीज हो गई, but there is another thing that you require. Suppose the mentor is there. Mentor है साथ में.
Self-love.
Okay, self-love. Yes, self-love is a good reason to have. एक चीज और चाहिए, एक चीज चाहिए, छोटी सी. Determination, yeah, you're somewhere, very close to it. Willingness भी कभी कभी नहीं काम करता actually. Determination is somewhere I would say yes. Why? Because willingness ना वो कहीं पे जा सकता है. Because willingness is not a need. जब हम commit करते हैं, somewhere when we commit to ourselves, तब हमें लगता है ना हमने commit किया यार. There is a hit. Commitment is something stronger than that. Positive remaining, kahin na kahin, when we are in that state, we do get affected by our environment. We do get affected by it. So in that moment, even if you have a mentor, which is necessary, but then the next thing is you need commitment. You need a reason. And yes, self-love is a beautiful reason to do anything. Would you agree? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Self-love as a reason is beautiful. And that's when you're able to take that leap of faith. You know what? Let's jump. Take there. Even if we fall, I'll pick myself up. How is that feeling? How do you think is that feeling? That, even if you know कि धोखा मिलेगा शायद, 50-50% chance है. हम लोग 100% लेके चलते हैं दिमाग में, overthinking के process में, 100% गलत ही होगा. But every time there is a 50-50% chance. 50-50%. If you don't take it, gone, then it's 100% failure. But if you do take a leap of faith, there is a 50-50% chance that things might work for you, might not work for you. That leap of faith reduces your chances of failure by 50%. Is that mind-blowing? Was that valuable?
Yes, very much.
Okay, now let's move forward. ये है victimhood. Can you see victimhood red में? इस पॉइंट पे हम विक्टिमहुड से विक्टरहुड पे जाते हैं. We move from one state to another. When we know we'll be able to take care of ourselves, and that's when you gradually learn to practice what? What do you learn to practice? जैसे टीचर्स पूछते हैं ना एंड में तो क्या पढ़ाई की? सेल्फ लव. Okay, that is self love as well as knowing what it means to be emotionally intelligent. You actually become emotionally intelligent at that point of time. You don't blame anyone. No requirement of blame game. ठीक है यार, responsibility लेते. Let me take ownership of this and let me move ahead with it. Let me take ownership of this. That's when you start to take ownership. Now, abate. Now let's come to the point of unmasking the 7 secrets of self-love. Because now, at this point, the secrets that I'm going to share, or the ways, the methods, the phases, the milestones that we'll share is what will make sense. There is where you'll be able to connect dots. So, moving forward, share kare ki na kare? Secret. इसी के लिए बुलाया गया था. We called you for this. We are going to share 7 secrets with you all. First secret. Now let me know if you agree with the statement or not. This is something which we have reached, which we have, organized. इसको organize किया है after being with many clients, walking through their journeys, understanding the different phases of it. And that's how we have come to this, summary, छोटे से summary में जो आज हम 1 घंटे 1.5 hour में खत्म करेंगे. Before self-love, become aware of what you hate about yourself, because that is where you need to work on. यहाँ पे लग रहा है trauma could be a blessing somewhere. I made this statement in the starting. लग रहा है somewhere, even if trauma हुआ है, जो भी हुआ है, it could be any challenge. Trauma, by the way, is any unresourceful idea which stays with you for a very long period of time. It could be a very simple statement, and it bothers you along the journey, and that is what we call as trauma. Trauma wo bhi hota hai jo which is related to accidents or something, but this is also trauma where a statement sticks with you throughout your life और वो loop पे चलता रहता है और हम कभी सोचते भी नहीं उसके बारे में, and that becomes our obstacle. So self love के पहले learn to become aware of, don't learn. अब बहुत कर लिया hate अपने आप से, actually अभी तक hate ही कर रहे थे. Learn, become aware of what you hate about yourself. Next secret, second one. थोड़ा जोश दिखाओ यार, शेयर तो कर दिया पर थोड़ा जोश, अगला सीक्रेट शेयर करे ना करे. The next secret is, before self-love, once again, know how you have been self-destructive. कहाँ अपने आप को destroy किया है, where all you have compromised with yourself. And that is the second secret. It's a process. It's a way. Hate करो, पहले समझो कहाँ hate करते हो. The next is to understand कितना destruction already कर चुके हो अपने साथ. What is it that you have done with yourself? The next, थोड़ा drum beat, हल्के drum beats लाते हैं, थोड़ा excitement show करते हैं. And the third secret is, before self-love, actually Sit down with yourself, converse with yourself, and know what you need to forgive yourself. पहले ही जाके माफ नहीं कर देना अपने आप को, because नहीं होगा. करके देख लो, नहीं होगा. If you know where all you have somewhere destroyed yourself, नहीं माफ कर पाओगे. Do you think you'll be able to forgive yourself instantly? अपने आप को ही माफ करना है, पर will you be able to do it?
Difficult.
The very first go. Difficult होता है. Exactly. Because it's a process once again. You need to further understand how you have destroyed yourself. दूसरों के लिए नहीं. शायद दूसरों के साथ कुछ गलत किया भी होगा ना, they will forgive you over a period of time. But even then, you will not forgive yourself. तो वो माफी दे चाहे ना दे, actually फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Because you will not forgive yourself. And that's when you need to work. Samjho, understand yourself. Where is it that you need forgiveness? What is it that you need to forgive yourself? ऐसे ही माफी नहीं दे सकते हम हवा में. Because again, there is no evidence. Evidence किस चीज का है? Solid evidence दिमाग के पास? That you betrayed me. I cannot trust you. Evidence तो इसका है solid. तो माफ कैसे करोगे? हवा में? नहीं होगा. Sit down with yourself. Become aware कि क्या माफ करना है. And what is it that you need? The next secret. Before self-love, prepare yourself to struggle through many labels. Whitman को कोई जानता है? Walt Whitman. Anyone here knows the person Walt Whitman? Walt Whitman. He's a poet. No? Okay, no worries. Maybe I'll share, some of his writings with you. Beautiful writings. He says something that, हम पूरी जिंदगी एक identity के साथ जीते हैं. We live through many labels. Or after a period of time, somewhere it becomes our reality, a truth of our identity. और हम बाद में अगर change भी करना चाहें, suppose we wish to change. Today we have planned out, I'll change myself, I'll do this, I'll do that. Just like that story. You remember that story? A short thing which I shared with you, that person while she was sharing, forgetfulness hai, I'm careless, or ye wo. People kept reminding her again that, you forget things. So just like that, people who know you from the past will keep on reminding you who you were. And they will not let you be who you want to be. At this point, इस पल में ना अपने आप को protect करना पड़ता है. You have to protect yourself. You have to prepare yourself to go through many labels and gradually detach from that. Once again, follow the process. कुछ magic नहीं है. If you have seen the videos in the starting, feedback videos, they do say, there is no magic happening here. कुछ magic नहीं हो रहा है. It's a process. The magic is in the power. The magic is in the process. And that is where the secret lies, in the process. The next. Okay. Is it possible to protect from own family members? यहाँ पे self-love काम आएगा. यहाँ पे ना, you would have to somewhere build yourself and you would have to stand up. छोटा छोटा, steps लेना पड़ेगा. Stand up. No, this is not right. Joke में, जैसे भी. Somewhere you would have to stand up for yourself. We do practice this, with each one of our clients, क्योंकि सबकी family है. They share everything. They share, the space, the time, the effort, everything. You would have to stand up somewhere for yourself. And that's where actually, that's something which comes from self-love. When you begin, because hum kya karte hain over a period of time, we project those things on us. Whatever people say, we take it as a reality, or we are scared of changing. हम अगर बदलने भी लगते हैं ना, तो भी हम act करते हैं कि I'm the same person. I don't care. I'm a very submissive person. I listen to everyone. I'm a good daughter. I'm a good boy. I'm a good son. I'm a good girl. We maintain that image. Problem family members की नहीं है. वो 2 दिन में अपना perspective change करेंगे. They'll start saying, "Oh, तुम बदल गई हो. Oh, it feels like you've changed." And then gradually उनकी habit बन जाएगी. They are not the problem. The problem is that you will not accept that change. The minute someone will point it out to you that, Yashwanti, there is something different about you. Or, there is something, you are changing. You'll get scared. And then you'll go back into your past. Past mein chalte, act karte, I'm not changing. Because nazar lag jayegi. And that's when you again prepare yourself for a setback. Somewhere, I hope I answered your question, Galaxy A12. I don't know who this is, but this is what your name is appearing as. So I hope I answered your question somewhere. Moving forward, before self-love, you have to allow yourself to reduce your identity to 0. Again, how many of you remember the story? My world collapsing, my kingdom collapsing, and then expanding. पहले collapse करना पड़ता है identity को. Whatever structures here there are, whatever thought processes it is that they are here, यहाँ पे, you would have to break it down. पूरा structure गिराना पड़ेगा, because that's when you'll be able to use the space to build something different. तब हम survival state से creation के state में आएंगे. Manifestation ऐसे नहीं होता है. You would have to be a creator for that. Otherwise, we keep on, manifesting things from our traumatic mindsets. और फिर हमें लगता है, that person, I don't know how that person is doing it, how that person is doing it. What is wrong with me? Yeah, energy down हो जाती है हमारी. Moving forward. Secret number 6. Self-love is about coexisting with yourself. Coexisting. So you asked a very beautiful question. Again, Galaxy A12 के question पे जाते हैं. Is it possible to protect from our own family members? They will have their own thoughts, my dear friends. They will have their own ideas about you. They will even have ideas about your society, how you should be, what roles you should play, what not. सब कुछ का एक blueprint है उनके पास कि इसी हिसाब से करो काम. But do you think here we need to fight with them? कि तुम्हारे ideas गलत है. Your opinion is wrong. I am right. I need to fight for my rights. हम ये करते हैं. हमें लगता है there is always someone at the back of us and we have to protect ourselves at each and every point. अपने लिए खड़े होना is different. Again, standing up for yourself is different. That is where you're affirming that yes, this is my identity. हूँ मैं ये, बदल रही हूँ मैं, और I'm changing, बदल रहा हूँ मैं. That is where you're affirming that yes, I'm changing. Look at my change. कुछ नजर नहीं लगेगी किसी को. But fighting with them is not going to work. Let me again share a story with you here. In the starting, I don't know how many of you did see the story of, our lives, where somewhere I mentioned, I did not fit in. At a point of time when I was in job, I was doing something, I did not fit in with them. And, again, many of you will take it, job galat hai. Job is wrong. But I did not say that. For me, at that point of time, the job was not right because perhaps I was meant to do something else. I took a risk. I'm doing it somewhere. But at that point of time, I did not say, jo job kar rahe, galat hai, chhod do job, ye, wo. No, that has a different meaning maybe, but maybe I don't fit in that reality. So should I break ties with them? Chhod de family? Change kar de family? No. The idea is coexist. And yes, as you say, protect from self, older self. At a point of time, हम अपने older self को मार तो नहीं सकते. We can, somewhere take them on our team. But the idea is to coexist with yourself. साथ में coexist करो ना. उनकी अपनी society है, fine. Let them be in their society. Let yourself choose your own society. The soul selects its own society. But जब हम human बन जाते हैं तो हम भूल जाते हैं. Okay, so last secret. Are you all still with your energies? कि खत्म हो गई energy? Yeah? All right. So going in for the 7th secret. Self-love is a skill. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक दिन उठे मैजिक हो गया और माइंडसेट चेंज हो गया, अब मस्ती है. No. Self-love is a skill. एक skill हम कैसे सीखते हैं? How do you think we, learn a particular skill? Because हमें schools में, institutions के द्वारा, यही सिखाया जाता है. Skill है. Self-love भी एक skill है. Yes, practice, okay? सिर्फ practice करें? By practice, what else? What do you think happens in that entire journey of learning a skill? Let's, build a structure for everyone ताकि सबको समझ में आए कि करना क्या है. वरना सब बोलेंगे बैठ तो गए पर कुछ सीखे नहीं. So, what should you do with a skill? क्या होता है skill में? हम पहले से ही practice करने लगते हैं? Or what happens?
You should have your me time.
Okay, so these are okay. So me time रख सकते हैं, ये सारी चीजें. So that is what we need to do. Like हमें क्या choose करना है to focus within or focus on ourselves or do something about it, work on our emotional intelligence. These are some of the ways. But हमें process क्या follow करना है? Exactly, Richa. Okay, so here let me share something with you. Last में ना bonus भी है और एक gift भी है. वो किसी एक को मिलेगा. Let's see who gets it. So yeah, Richa, you're right. Try. पहले try करेंगे. और पक्का failure रखा है. Understand this. You'll fail the first time you'll try to love yourself. You'll fail. You would have to go back again. You would have to follow the process, the whole journey once again. And then you would have to again go out there, practice it. If you still fail, come back again. Learn the skill again. Learn ki aur kya zarurat hai hamari khud ki that I need to work on so that, I get the results. And then by that try, fail, learning process ke saath, at the end of it, somewhere after a few days, it will become what will it become? As a skill, it will become with consistency. The skill will become a dash.
Habit.
Yes, it will become a habit. Break the structures which are already there and then create something new. Break the habit which is already there, not the action part. ये conscious है, ये कहीं ना कहीं conscious है. But suppose if I'm talking to you and I just pick up this glass of water and I drink it, I don't have to think about it. Right now, this motor activity is in my subconscious mind. I know how to pick up a glass. I don't have to focus here to do it. That is how self-love needs to become. No matter what challenges come your way, it should be there with you as a habit. फंसे हुए हो कहीं, नहीं निकाल सकते मी टाइम, सारे लोग चिल्ला रहे हैं सर पे खड़े होके. But in that moment, the self-love should be a skill so that you're so natural at it that it doesn't matter in what situation you are. It does not matter. So, was it mind blowing till now? था? नहीं था? क्या था?
Yeah, very
Were we able to add some value?
definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. Okay. Okay. तब यही छोड़ दे, एंड करें यहीं पे. चलो ठीक है, देख लेना, अब टाटा बाय बाय. संभाल लो. कर दे. Yes. Okay. I hope this yes is not for छोड़ दे. Okay. Bonus. Okay, so everyone is waiting for the bonus. मिलेगा मिलेगा. सब्र का फल मीठा होता है. You know that marshmallow theory. आज बहुत कुछ पढ़ने को मिलेगा. But you know what I wish somewhere you take? एक चीज. Awareness. That is the only thing somewhere I wish you do take. Whether you have noted down the things or not noted down the things, this is one thing to take. Now, coming to this picture, which we somewhere shared, and maybe you can see a little glimpse of it at the slides page. This cannot be the end. Okay. आते हैं वो committed लोगों के लिए रहेगा. It is there. It is there. Something is definitely there. So just mentioning this, again a painting. You guys shared amazing perspectives about it. जो लोग थे starting से, some of you might who have joined later, उनको शायद नहीं मिला होगा, but those of you did, and those of you did share their perspectives. It was mind blowing. Mind blowing. And I think somewhere, somewhere can you see the ideas of it all in this picture? Can you see it? Can you relate why we actually use the photo for the webinar, the flyers and everything? एक छोटा सा चीज at the end of it, if you can see ना जहाँ scissors दिख रहा है, she's not actually cutting it if you see properly. She's actually trying to stop the artery from overflowing, पर वो तभी भी थोड़ा सा निकल रहा है. This painting somewhere represents supporting yourself, self-supporting. And that is the entire idea of self-love. कोई आगे नहीं आने वाला. No one is going to come and support you unless and until you take that massive action. No one is going to support you. क्योंकि कोई आ भी जाएगा ना, you'll not listen to it. कितने लोगों के साथ ऐसा हुआ है कि even though somewhere, let me stop my screen here थोड़ी देर के लिए. कितने लोगों के साथ ऐसा हुआ है कि you have tried to help someone in the crisis. You have tried to help them, reach out to them, provide them support, but they have not listened to you. No, see self-destructive phase mein. Maybe it could be your children, maybe it could be, your employees, or maybe it could be your subordinates, or maybe it could be just your family members. They just don't listen to you. They will not listen. They'll go through the pain, they'll go through everything, but they'll not listen to you. Why? It has happened. So that's when, no matter how much you try, unless and until that person commits, that person takes a massive action, there will be no change. And that's where we ask for permission. We usually ask for permission from people, can I provide you the support that you need? And if your answer is no, then we have to bite our tongues कितनी भी कोशिश कर लें. Here, let me share a story. Again, a story. How many of you would like to hear a story once again? Story. छोटी सी story. Yeah. So I had once again one of my leads. They came to me and 1 घंटा पूरा बैठे, पूरा प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस किया, क्या चैलेंज है क्या नहीं, सब कुछ डिस्कस किया. The person was, for the first time, that person had actually approached someone to talk about the challenges that the person was going through in the 4 walls. जो 4 दीवारी होती है ना, उसके अंदर जितने भी challenges होते हैं. Imagine the worst. Imagine the worst. That person was going through everything. But that person is someone who actually teaches or, coaches other people. So do you think that person would have some intellectuality? Intellectuality to hogi. Hogi, definitely hogi. But why do you think she was, or that person was not able to apply it on themselves? अपने ऊपर क्यों नहीं हम इस्तेमाल कर सकते? Why do you think that person was not able to apply that on themselves? कभी सर्जन को देखा है खुद पे सर्जरी करते हुए? When you are sitting with yourself, you have to somewhere take care of 2 things. That you consciously observe your reality and you subconsciously go into that autopilot state. 2 चीजें चाहिए होती है उस point पे. Do you think it's possible for a person to stay in both the states together?
No.
That is somewhere you need an external force. इसीलिए जो सब चिल्ला